Plans for a new Bray Wyatt faction have possibly been revealed, and they were scrapped after this mystery illness sidelined the former WWE Universal Champion. Nick Aldis is a free agent after leaving Impact Wrestling and reportedly does have interest from WWE, but they want him to work as a producer. Pillman Jr. has left AEW, and reportedly last week when he was at the Performance Center, he was there for a tryout. Details on how that worked out for him, and a SmackDown star asks, when am I going to be back on SmackDown? Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of World Wrestling Entertainment. Let's start off talking about Bray Wyatt, and the possible details have now finally been revealed for this new Wyatt-ish family faction. The Bray Wyatt puppets alive? Well, it could have happened, according to a new report from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. Now, there was recently a report that indicated that there were plans back all the way in 2019 for Eric Young and Mike Bennett to serve in a Bray Wyatt stable that would see his puppets from his Firefly Funhouse come to life. As it turns out, there is actually some truth to that report, and that report may have actually taken place also in 2023 if creative plans had actually come to fruition. Now, Fightful have learned that prior to their WWE releases in 2020, there were pitches from Paul Heyman to have Mike Bennett and Eric Young involved with Bray Wyatt. However, the pitch made it to Bennett, but not to the former Impact World Champion Eric Young. It ended up getting pitched more than once, including the idea for Mike Bennett to perform as Sister Abigail. Now, though there was word in the report that the plans were cancelled, of course, we know that both men ended up leaving WWE. This was just as we were heading into the pandemic in 2020. Fightful have been told the pitches actually didn't really get that far at the time. However, there were more recent ones that did get quite far. In fact, there were plans for this to actually take place on television. Now, Eric Young, he's back in Impact Wrestling, but whilst he was under contract to WWE last year from November to April, his creative in WWE would have likely put him in a pretty significant spot within the company. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported that Eric Young requested and was granted his WWE release this spring before serving out his non-compete clause and returning to Impact Wrestling at Slammiversary. Despite never appearing for WWE after signing in November, there were creative plans in order for him. Young was to be involved in a new style version of the Wyatt family with both Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, who had been portraying Uncle Howdy on WWE television. Fightful have been told that creative plans were set in January and would have kicked off after WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles. However, Bray Wyatt, of course, was sidelined with an undisclosed illness, and neither he or Bo Dallas have yet to return to WWE television. By the time the angle would have started, Young asked for his release, citing moral and creative reasons tied to working with Vince McMahon as the reason he wanted to leave WWE. Of course, as you would have seen on television, there were also pitches for Alexa Bliss to join before her maternity leave, which were nixed when it was obvious that she wouldn't be around for the entirety, or at least the remainder, of 2023. So what are your thoughts about that? A new Wyatt family, the Firefly Funhouse puppets coming to life, and a new family in the sense of you've got Bray Wyatt, you've got Uncle Howdy, and then you would have had all of these puppets come to life. What are your thoughts on that, and do you think we'll ever see that faction see the light of day in WWE? Now, one person involved in that, of course, was Eric Young. As I mentioned, Eric Young's release request came after the WWE sale to Endeavor was finalized in April, and Vince McMahon's return to the company in a creative capacity was official. Eric Young said he did not want to work with Vince McMahon, citing moral, creative, and personal reasons, with his release being officially granted, and then he had to sit out his 90-day non-compete clause before making his Impact return at Slammiversary. Taking to Twitter today, Eric Young reflected on his Impact Wrestling return and how he made a hard choice. He said, quote, "This felt good. This felt right. I made a hard choice, and there was no doubt in my mind it was the right one." Of course, Young was revealed as the mystery tag team partner for Scott D'Amore on the show. He and D'Amore were victorious over Bully Ray and Dina in tag team action. Of course, Eric Young was killed off by Dina when he left the company late last year, with the match serving as his return from the dead and back to Impact Wrestling storyline. So again, what are your thoughts on this Bray Wyatt faction? What are your thoughts on Eric Young's decision? And again, could we see possibly this Wyatt 6 faction see the light of day on WWE TV? Keeping with the theme of WWE and Impact Wrestling, one name that was recently in Impact could be heading to WWE, but maybe not in the capacity that many people had envisaged. At last Saturday's Impact Wrestling Slammiversary event, former Impact World Champion unsuccessfully challenged current champion Alex Shelley in the main event. Of course, that was none other than Nick Aldis. The match turned out to be Aldis' last of his current run, with him now officially a free agent. When Aldis left the NWA at the beginning of the year, he was one of many names that WWE had interest in bringing into the company, though no main roster hires have happened since Vince McMahon returned to the company in January. Of course, we now know that more names are looking to be signed. Carlito seems to be the first main roster signing since Vince McMahon's return in January, as well as the acquisition of WWE and subsequent merger of WWE and UFC under the Endeavor umbrella, and Nick Aldis could possibly be the next name on that list. Now, in an update from PW Insider Elite, numerous WWE sources have confirmed that there is, quotes, high interest in the former NWA and Impact World Champion now that he is free and clear. PW Insider says they have heard from sources that Aldis' name has been discussed internally as a potential producer for the company in recent weeks, with the talk today that he may go through a trial process for that role as soon as next month. The interest in Aldis at the beginning of the year came with him as a wrestler, so it's not known if he would serve exclusively as a producer or if he would continue to make several in-ring appearances. Aldis' short-term Impact agreement expired after Slammiversary, with his run going as planned in terms of the timeline. As of this recording, he is 100% a free agent, but what are your thoughts about that? Nick Aldis coming into WWE, but not as a wrestler, as a producer. Do you think that's the right move, the wrong move, or is this just a case of Nick Aldis getting his foot in the door and then eventually he will wrestle for WWE, or is this a case of WWE not knowing the potential of what Nick Aldis could bring to the company? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about that in the comment section below. Now, a big story last week was Brian Pillman Jr. showing up at the WWE Performance Center. It was certainly significant because he had just left AEW after his contract with All Elite Wrestling had expired. As I mentioned, it was recently confirmed that Brian Pillman Jr. had departed All Elite Wrestling, with his contract expiring and the two sides parting ways. On Wednesday, it was reported that Pillman was spotted at the WWE Performance Center, though it was not known exactly why he was even there in Florida. In an update today from PW Insider, WWE sources have confirmed that the company brought Pillman Jr. in this past Wednesday through yesterday for a tryout in Orlando at the Performance Center. It has not been revealed whether or not Pillman was offered a contract or whether he had signed one or anything like that. As I mentioned, WWE has made no hires for the main roster since Vince McMahon's return to the company back in January. Former WWE superstar Carlito has reportedly re-signed with the organization, with his planned return at Madison Square Garden being scrapped due to the show going overtime and also having that big Bloodline Tribal Court segment involving Roman Reigns. Another free agent, as we just discussed, that WWE reportedly has high interest in is former NWA and Impact World Champion Nick Aldis, although that is in a producer capacity. So could you see Brian Pillman Jr. signing with WWE in the future? If indeed he does, do you expect that he goes through NXT or does he go to the main roster? Can it work out for the son of Brian Pillman in WWE, or is this just a case of a name coming in because WWE is now looking to recruit new talent? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Finally, it's been a hot minute since we've seen Aliyah on WWE TV, and it's not lost on her, certainly. WWE superstar Aliyah has been off television since September for just creative reasons, with her said to be healthy and ready to return for months at this stage. Taking to Twitter, Aliyah has a passive-aggressive question for her Twitter followers when she asked, quote, question for the studio audience, when do you think I'll be back on SmackDown? Hashtag Ask the Aliyah Show. The two options that Aliyah gave were before September 12, 2023 and after September 12, 2023. Why September 12, you ask? Because it's a significant date. September 12 was the last time that Aliyah appeared on WWE television, when her and Raquel Rodriguez lost the Women's Tag Team Championships to Dakota Kai and Io Sky of Damage Control. If Aliyah does not return to WWE TV before that date, it will mark 1 full year without her being seen on WWE TV. So do you think she's going to appear before then? And frankly, do you particularly care? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below too. But there you go, guys. This is the latest WWE news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.